once outside of LA, and after the show, people sometimes give us business cards, and some of them lead to really cool connections. And then there's this guy who gave me his business card. And he was wearing this really cool, like expensive looking blazer. You know those guys who have like two really expensive looking pieces, like it's probably a part like a startup company or something. I don't know where my mind was going, but like this guy clearly works with Katy Perry. We're gonna be big because he came to our show at this random Unitarian church in LA. So he gives me his business card. He's like, I really think we can do business together. And then he just disappears into the LA at night. And I kind of forgot about it. And then at the end of the show, we were putting all our stuff away, and I like reached into the pocket. I'm like, oh my gosh, Amanda, the golden ticket. You gotta check this out. And then I looked at it for the first time. Just side note, I still have this card in my wallet in case of emergency because it just said Chuck in capital letters. And then the back was blank. So I mean, that guy's my hero. Whoever is.
So apparently you're supposed to do this when you want to call him.
No, my goal of the rest of my life is to find this guy. It's like the plot of a really bad indie movie.
I love it. It's gonna happen.
But yeah, so no, I mean, we've received so many wonderful people have sent us wonderful emails over the years, and it's honestly been incredible. Like that's been the best part of it is getting to meet so many cool people.
Like Sheila's barometer is almost always off.
Oh, completely. Yeah. Like after every show, I'm like, well, it was a disaster, Amanda. I just gotta pack it in. And we played one show once, and we were actually in Kent State, and we played a show, and there's a gentleman in the front row, and he was just writing the whole time. And I was like, I mean, obviously he's writing a review. Obviously he hates the show, and he's trying to get all of his like negative adjectives down on one page while they're still fresh in his mind. This is where my mind goes. It might have something to do with the fact that when I played soccer as a young girl, like my dad would run up and down the field with his Irish accent telling me I was playing rubbish, rubbish. Internalize that. So that's what I'm assuming you're all thinking at all times. And then, anyways, this guy in the front row at Kent State was like writing and writing, and I was like, Amanda, it's over, it's our last show. And he came up at the end and handed us like an acrostic poem that he'd written about how much he loved the show.
I know.
So I'm mostly wrong, but then the problem with people who think that, who prepare for the worst is that the one time they're right, it justifies all of their pessimism. So we got this email out of the blue, I tell you, and we were playing in Maine, and we finished our show at the Chocolate Church in Maine. Yeah, very cool venue. And we're driving home the next morning. We were getting ready for our 10-hour drive, or however many hours it is, and I open my phone, there's an email, and it's to the Dala email account, and it says, from a potential fan.
First red flag.
Yep. Also, the other red flag was that the whole thing was written in red font. I printed it out just to prove it. I have it in my scrapbook. But anyways, it was from a guy named Gary who did not enjoy the show.
No, not a fan.
And he just went through all the reasons why, and he didn't want us to take it personally. So I think amongst my favorite criticisms was that, not everyone can write their own original music. Even Garth Brooks sings covers. I was like, what does Garth Brooks have to do with this? And he also was like, if you don't sound like Carole King, don't even bother. So, yeah, so I was so harsh and I was totally devastated. And then we had this 10-hour drive to kind of stew over it.
And my job is to lighten the mood.
So Amanda put on like classic rock radio, and then Run It Against the Wind came on, and she just started singing an interpretation of Gary's email with that melody. So, yeah. Subjective. There is only one good song, and if you're not singing it all the time, you're a terrible person. You should really quit your job, Carole King. You don't sound like Carole King. You're young and bad, and you don't sound like Carole King. Gary's lost his mind. He's writing in all caps. He found a way to turn his blood into a font. Maybe he's single, Carole King. Everybody! You don't sound like Carole King. Oh, you're young and bad, and you don't sound like Carole
say